Alright, so I don't know if you guys have heard of social alchemy. It's this idea, and this is a picture of it. You could say so, us being the magicians on the board of society between the two pillars, behind the government, connecting to the idea of ancient knowledge and the oneness connected all throughout nature and all throughout like different societies and everything. So being aware of that higher source, that higher awareness, that all-seeing eye, connecting it to where we are, the individuals who are a collective, standing together on the checkerboard in front of like what is society and what is social alchemy. So hey everyone, this is Brendan, aka Skull Babylon, and this is another Synchronicity report log / me talking about what I did today, and also discussing some interesting things that I feel are worth sharing, which is the whole point of making this video, because I have some things that I have good news to report back, like from the front lines of being a social alchemist, and that's a term that I literally just saw on Facebook. One second, so I'm going to do up my bracelet here. I just saw that term on Facebook. My good buddy Jordan Levine, who you guys all know, Riff Shaman, he was just put up a comment. It was just like a post, and it's just like talking about social alchemy, and I'm just like, yeah, like that's a good term. That's exactly what it was that I was doing today. So what I was doing today was, and it involves synchronicity. So here's me recollecting on the story, and again, this is really similar to those of you who've watched my like video dream logs. It's kind of similar, right? Like it's me recalling things that actually happened in a place where you guys weren't, because I didn't bring my camera to the place that I went to. And the place that I went to was a festival downtown in the park that we have, like down in our city, Vic Park. And basically, I was giving out all these conscious and shifting buttons. You guys have seen me work with buttons, and before I got some footage of me making buttons earlier in the day. It's like shoddy footage, but that's like kind of the process of what I was working with. I was giving people these conscious and shifting buttons that I was using the term awesome buttons. So I made a sign. Awesome buttons, only $2, because I'm selling buttons so that I can continue to make buttons, but I do give buttons away for free, which is the point. Like, you literally sort of, I'll explain some tactics. And the other part of it is that when I give people buttons, I also give them one of these, and this is an invitation to the regular meetings that we have within our Paradigm Shift community. Those of you who are obviously familiar with Paradigm Shift communities, like, know exactly what I'm talking about. Those who just haven't heard yet, Paradigm Shift communities are all across the world. They're digital and physical communities, and they encourage opening conversation for expanding one's perceptions of reality and talking about the things that they never really taught us in school, basically. So here's a couple of, these are actually, some of these are magnets. Magnets, those are magnets. I was wearing this later in the day. I didn't wear that. It's the only one I have right now. I have to make more. Just of that Triforce at least. These are all magnets and stuff. Magnets that are left over. So you can see there's some pretty rad like designs that I got. And the whole point of these designs, like this is my wolf one. Right now I only have one of that. Like that's like, I haven't even worn that yet actually. Like I'm just holding on to it. But it's an awesome button too. So again, there's all these awesome buttons. And I'm editing in footage of the stuff that I had earlier today. So I go up to people and I have this sign, like this sign here, and then I attach them to this binder, the binder that you've already seen, like this binder, which is empty now because I gave away a whole bunch of buttons. And you go up to people and you talk to them, and then you provide them with an opportunity to choose, and it's exciting for them, and you make them smile. And that was part of my objective today. I actually like put a post about that like on Facebook. I'm just like, or just, you know, the idea of just be a person, be the one to make someone smile today. I'm just like, yeah, you know, like because I actually saw that somewhere else, and I just like wanted to share it as well. And I'm just like, that's a very simple way of like crystallizing like the purpose of what we can sort of do and why we do it, to make someone else smile, to be the reason someone else smiles. So sharing these buttons made a lot of people smile today. So I mean, you know, good job. Like that's like some awesome stuff. And it's also hooking them up with the Paradigm Shift community in their location. So in this case, obviously it's London. I will be getting buttons to the admins of the Paradigm Shift communities, and I would like to be able to get buttons to anybody else who really wants buttons. The idea would be to sell the buttons to you guys for $1 a piece, and you guys have to cover shipping, obviously, and then to be able to, you guys can sell buttons too, and then those money, the funds being raised from selling buttons, can go into your Paradigm Shift community, like paying for more printing costs or anything else that you guys feel that the space cash can go towards. but yeah, printing costs is definitely something that if you're making posters and everything, it's just, yeah, it's all little stuff. Or just invest in more buttons, you know, like double up on your button supply just by buying buttons and selling buttons, and you can like create a collection along the way of your custom buttons. Like seriously, like look at this. This is like Pogs and Pokemon cards all over again. Like I'm telling you, it's all about the buttons. It's all about the buttons. You know it. So that's a sick one, right? So you can see the ones I had earlier today, I specifically had a lot of Flower Life stuff, and you can tell on this sign, which I can give to you guys. I'll put the files online. You can see there's like the Flower Life behind it, right? So when I show people these buttons, I'll explain some of them, because some of them will ask, they'll be like, what does this mean? I'm just like, well, a lot of it is like you can mean whatever you want it to mean. But then I'll like point at stuff, and I'll usually have a Flower Life like design on it, because I printed out extra ones today, because all the designs that I had were just like leftovers from like an old print job, so I have to go get new print jobs, and I'm going to do this tomorrow. Did I mention that there was a festival that I was at? I don't know if I did. Anyways, so I was at this huge festival that was happening downtown in the park, in Victoria Park, and that's where I was giving out the buttons, and that's happening again. So festivals are a great place to just walk around with a sign and you go, it's funny, like this was like my tagline, I'm like, buttons here, get your awesome buttons, get them while they're awesome, buttons here, you know, just like, and people like that, like people, it's funny, because it just like lightens the mood, and like I said, you're not always literally selling buttons. Sometimes you're giving them away for free to people, and what I do sometimes, because again, I use my intuition, and if you saw my last Synchronicity log, well, I mean, this is just like a life log or blog or whatever. This is my Ankh, my new one that I just like recently got. That, you know, I've never had an Ankh before, but I just felt like I was like kind of bonus points or something, like, oh, like, well, let me tell you, like, some of the stuff that did happen that was synchronistic. I'll explain that in a second. Finishing up on the idea of the buttons. Buttons are very successful. Then I'll talk about synchronicity. Buttons are a very successful tactic. They're proven. They work. Invest in buttons, and every potential person who you give a button to, if you give a pamphlet to as well, like that's a person who might come out to a paradigm shift meeting, and that's how you build your tribe, and that's how you just like make people smile and open doors for them and birth new realities. That is like the social alchemy of what I'm talking about here, is to be able to actually like present people with an awareness of the fact that there are others out there who are asking questions. Oh, there's a sick Bruce Lee quote at the end of the day when I was at my buddy's. Can't remember it right off the top of my head, but it was just like, it's like the problem. It's like our problem is that like we searched for the answer, but the truth is not found in the answer. The truth is found in like dissolving the question. Something along those lines, if that makes sense. It was Bruce Lee. It was really cool. Like, he's my role model. One of many. So anyways, buttons. You know what to do. And, yeah, meet people, and it's awesome. And tell them about the flower life. If someone's looking at it and you're just like, well, the flower life, you know, like that's a symbol found all throughout ancient cultures. You see it in like India, you see it in Egypt, you see it in like China, like all these different places. And they're just like, oh, okay. And then you're just like, yeah, and you see it like all throughout nature as well. And you can use a simple explanation of explaining the idea of like how when a cell is growing, you know, we all know this. Most of you already know this. Like a cell, you know, one cell and then like two, and then it creates like eventually what is the flower life, like sort of unfolding. Like you literally see it like in there, in its different form, and then and it's always there. It's just always like changing shape in more complex ways. Like we are a bunch of flower life, if you were to think about it that way, just like compiled upon itself in such a way that we have like a nose and ears and stuff, and elf ears. If I've heard, I don't know, I heard like a while back, because I'm part elf, I hear a lot of stuff, perks from being from the future. So future, yeah, time traveling future, I'm an elf who may or may not be from the future, is what I'm saying. So just roll with that idea. So anyways, I was just gonna say a quick thing on ears, I guess. I heard a long time ago that like it's not uncommon for quote unquote indigo children, or just, you know, people to have pointed ears. I can understand why. If we choose a bunch of stuff about us, it would make sense if we choose something as minuscule as a point on my ear that's not necessarily on my other ear. But even when I was younger, it always got my attention, right? I'm just like, why does my ear look like that? Like, other than the association of elf. And elf is like, you know, El kind of means like of God or something. And then higher self, higher elf. That's the connection I make. So helping people connect with their higher elf is like I don't know, I'm curious like how many other people have like funky ears. You guys know what I'm talking about. So in terms of synchronicity, yeah, like seriously, I'm telling you guys this stuff because I feel it's worth telling, and if like, you've watched my videos and you know I've made like way longer videos in my dream logs. So I made a bit of money today. Right now my money is inside like this sort of like thing that I got with a special flower. Like that's what I made today, and I'm gonna make more buttons tomorrow, and I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna make more buttons, but I don't bring my camera with me. Not having my camera on me makes a big difference for me, because if I do have my camera on me, then there is always a thought in my mind of like, how should I be filming this, or should I be filming this? It's a very different experience. I don't mind doing it this way. I prefer to do, for now, I prefer to just like not carry a camera with me when I'm giving out buttons, but to be able to report back to you guys and tell you how it went. It just allows me to be like more like intuitive on that level. Of not knowing that I may or may not should or possibly could be filming something. Like seriously, like the camera is like the joy and the bane of my existence. You have to understand that. So, if people want to start a Paradigm Shift community in their area, Paradigm Shift community admin group, follow the link in the info below, and we'll help get you started, and we'll hook you up with files. And if people want buttons, contact me about buttons, and we can get buttons. You can have buttons even if you're not in a Paradigm Shift community. The buttons have the website on the side, so they say like Paradigm Shift Central, and I'm still going to update the website properly. It just takes time. And the synchronicity, the big synchronicity. And I'll just end it after this, because there's really just like a couple things that I want to say. The big synchronicity for me today, and there was a lot of synchronicities, like this whole button thing that was all synchronistic, social alchemy, like creating realities, like bringing joy and happiness through like creative and artistic means, and the power of buttons. Like, see, buttons will change the world, I'm telling you. It's symbols, it's art, right? It's language. So the big synchronicity that happened with me today, when I first got back to the park after having one of my Paradigm Shift meetings, because today's Friday and I start on Friday, I was like just sort of walking through, and I talked to this one guy, and then I sort of like went another way, and then there's like this main path that's like surrounded by tents and people walking, and then there's an open field to the right. I could have cut across like earlier, but like the place where I just happened to like cut through the open tent, and I just sort of did it like spontaneously too, right? It's like will and whim. I just like sort of like ended up walking like right towards like some friends who I was intending on running into, and apparently like they'd like texted me just like a minute before, but my phone wasn't on, so it was like I still got their message, and like I was just like, again, right, like why did I turn right when I did? That is the synchronistic nature of it, and it's one of those moments where I'm just like, awesome, you know. I'm like not even like, oh my god, did that just happen? I'm just like, damn, yeah, that just happened, like, because it happens a lot when you can understand that. Especially in like a grounds like a small festival in local community, or just like even going downtown, or just anywhere you go, there is that possibility for it. But obviously there's like a bit more novelty at a festival. Yeah. So speaking of festivals, Journey to Lucidity is an awesome movie, and you guys should watch that because it's awesome. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I need to tell you guys. And another thing, final shout out for today. I mean, there's more stuff I can show you. Shout out to Planet Medicine, my good buddy Michael in California. This is a tonic that he has. This one is organic goji and shizandra, sorry. And that's like a tonic, and you just like drink it by like having a drip of it, and it's a good like plant medicine compressed into a form where you can, again, it's just like, this is like what it is. So it's like pure, and it tastes like alcohol because it's like super refined, but like what it is like all the nutritional value of in this case it goes into shizandra, and I have other ones like reishi and elderberry, reishi mushroom, which is like the mushroom of immortality. So can you understand? Can you start to understand like why you're taking this stuff that like ancient Chinese medicine was all about, working with the tonics and the plants, like creating tonics out of plants, and tinctures, that's what those things are called. So anyways, that's all for now. I'll wrap it up with 15 minutes in this video. So thanks for watching, guys. Listen to Paradigm Shift Radio. Will be happening at 11:30 Saturday if you're watching this video before then. and it's actually the 1 year anniversary. Last week was just like build up. This week actually is the 1 year anniversary, and then a week after that, shortly after, it's my birthday. So just gonna be non-stop partying going on. So glad you guys are here to be a part of it. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching, and here's my sweet box that I got. And yeah, cool symbol on there, right? Awesome, guys. Alright, keep up the good work. And remember, social alchemy, the strength to play and create on the board of creation, like within the matrix reality, with politics, like still within like their game, like in front of us, but knowing that like behind all that, there's like the ancient knowledge of like our innate connection to the natural patterns of reality. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into another conversation, but it is about understanding that like things are happening for a reason, sort of, so to speak. So be a part of it and be excited that you are a part of it. You already are a part of it. It's realizing that you are a part of it. Yeah, divine timing, right? Alright, talk to you later, guys. Gandhi says, say what? Clone High. Go watch it.